Right there, someone walked up to you and snatched your third Quran. That's the guy as he's walking up to you, right? The one right behind your head in this video?
Yeah,
okay.
Yeah, he was in the crowd. Yeah.
So he snatches it and you even see him move there.
And then you can see like people are following him. So they are all Muslims. If I go, like I won't be able to get anything. I might get hurt. So I just like walking back. And I think that is the moment I'm just like, I'm going to bring the Quran and drill hole next week.
This is the Quran I gave you. And the Quran I gave you was to replace a Quran that was stolen from you, right? So I could be getting this wrong, but if I recall, someone stole your Quran before, same thing, walked up, strong-armed it from you, took it from you. And then I said, well, I'll go ahead and make you a custom Quran and I'll send it to you. And then I sent it to you to replace one that was already stolen. So notice, I just want to point out to our Muslim friends who are watching, the Quran I sent you would have never been made. It would have never happened if they hadn't stolen your Quran from you. In other words, they're mad that you had a Quran right now and they walked up to you and they ran up to you and stole it right there in this video we just watched. But the only reason that Quran existed was because they stole your Quran before. So this Quran that they really don't like you having, you only had it because they took your other Quran. Is that correct?
Yeah.
I wanted to pull up this video from Omar here because he actually has it afterwards. Now, he's got the Quran.
This is like approximately 10, 15 minutes after.
We understand, hey, this could be offensive to people. We understand that. There are reasons for the stuff. You're not in Saudi Arabia. You're not in Pakistan. You're in a different place that has protections for criticism. And if you don't understand that, then you got something like that. What are your views on all of this, Hatun? I don't mean this specific incident. I mean the idea that you're clearly saying some things that hurt people's feelings. Why do you hurt people's feelings about their prophet and their book?
Well, why their prophet is hurting my feelings? Why their prophet is hurting the feelings of Jesus? Quran is hurting my feelings. This is a place called Speaker's Corner. You go there to have the controversial conversations, the things people don't want you to talk. The reason we've got the Quran with the holes in it, because when the Sheikh expressed there are holes in the narrative after behind on the public years saying, oh, there is only one Quran. Now they are telling us, oh, there are holes in the narrative relationship between Ahruf and Qur'an. I turn up the Speaker's Corner following Sunday, asked the same question to Muslims. And then week after that, I went back and then this time I had a notebook. I asked them to write what they would write in this Musaf. All I got like, no, we are not going to talk to you. It is important topic. Foundations of Islamic faith is based on the authenticity of the Quran as well as Muhammad. Let's have the discussions and debates. Tell me what is this? Why I'm holding different Arabic Qurans? So
what you're pointing out is that what you started with is this issue of consistency. If you guys get to insult our beliefs, if you get to insult and degrade Jesus and Christians, then obviously I have a right to criticize your book and your position, and you don't get to stop me, especially in the UK where you have no right to just walk up and steal someone's property from them, and yet they keep doing it. Let's talk about this particular Quran. So what's the idea with the Mickey Mouse? Muslims say Muhammad is prophesied in the Bible. Hey, that's not nice. That's offensive to us because according to the Bible, Muhammad's a false prophet. So it's offensive and hurting our feelings to say that he's a prophet according to the Bible. But when we ask them where, there's a word that pops up repeatedly in the Bible, mahmad, which is something, lovely or something like that, something precious to you. And they have to ignore all the uses of this because it never makes sense to replace that with Muhammad. But in Song of Songs 5:16, it uses the word mahmad, and Muslims say, this is talking about Muhammad. It's a prophecy about Muhammad. And it's what we call the phonic fallacy. These two words sound alike, and therefore they mean that they refer to the same thing. One of the stupidest, absolutely stupidest arguments anyone could ever offer for anything ever. And yet this is the position of, you're talking Ahmed Deedat, Zakir Naik, Shabir Ali, their guys all use this argument. Hey, the Hebrew word mahmad, which is used in a bunch of places, it actually means Muhammad, even though it makes no sense if you just insert the word Muhammad in all these places. And so to make fun of that argument, we say, well, if you're going to say, hey, mahmad kind of sounds like Muhammad, so it means the same thing. Well, Akbar is mouse in Hebrew. So when Muslims say Allahu Akbar, it sounds like they're saying Allah is a mouse. And in order to make fun of that, we we have a Mickey Mouse there. But then there are these random holes in the Quran. What's the reason for the holes in the Quran here?
So for a long time, Muslims stated that there is only one perfect Quran, and it turned up actually there are lots of different Arabic Qurans, and When Sheikh Yasser Qadi was interviewed, he stated that Muslim missionary was asked, Muhammad Hijab was asking, okay, like, tell me about this, like, one Quran story. And then Sheikh Yasser Qadi stated, everyone knows the story of Aruf and Qur'an. And then when we dig into it, there are 40 different opinions and there are holes in the narrative.
So there are holes in the narrative, and the holes in the Quran are representative of Sheikh Yasser, not our claim, Sheikh Yasser Qadi's claim that there are holes in the standard narrative. By the way, little side note here, you're the one who's, as far as I know, you're the one who's mainly responsible for getting Yasser Qadi. I mean, Muhammad Hijab, definitely a huge role, but the reason Muhammad Hijab had to push that issue and try to get Yasser Qadi to say something favorable when Yasser Qadi didn't, it just blew up in their faces, was because you were the one who kept showing up to Speaker's Corner with different Qurans from different parts of the world with different Arabic in it. And you kept having Muslims come up to you saying, perfect preservation right down to the letter, there's only one. And you would just put Qurans in their faces that have different Arabic from different parts of the world. And because this happened over and over and over again, and then all these confused Muslims are running to their apologists going, wait a minute, she's actually got these Qurans with different Arabic in it. I thought there's only one Quran. What's going on here? What is this? And Hijab doesn't really have an answer, because at first he tried to explain it in terms of dialect and so on. Doesn't work. Total deception. And so eventually, when Hijab was out of ammunition to respond, he goes to Sheikh Yasser Qadi thinking Sheikh Yasser Qadi is going to clarify why there are so many different Qurans when there's supposedly only one. And Sheikh Yasser Qadi just basically said, yeah, sorry. It would be one thing. It would be one thing if like the religion was like the nicest, friendliest religion in the world and only spoke highly of everyone else's religious beliefs and said, all beliefs are fine with us and that's all great and we don't want to hurt anyone and we don't want to subjugate the world at all and everyone's great. That would be one thing if people were making fun of that. But it's, hey, here's our religion. It calls for us to ultimately control you. And by the way, you're not allowed to say anything back. I look at that and say, what do you mean I can't say anything back? You just said all this stuff about us. You say all this stuff about our religion. You say all this stuff about what you can do to us and what you're ultimately going to do to us. And we have to keep our mouths shut in return. And if you're one of the few who actually says, no, actually, to be fair here, since you're saying this, I'm going to criticize and even mock that ideology that calls me all of these things. As soon as you do that, now you've got police jumping in and saying, well, we're going to arrest you for speaking back to these guys. It's like in the Islamic mindset, Islam is supposed to be in charge of everyone else, the government and everything else. And you come to the West and it's supposed to be against that. No, you don't control us. You don't control what we get to say. And yet the government just goes along with it anyway.